Fireball summer, honeymoon lovers, seeing no colors. Love me all summer, making discovers under your covers.
And hello again from Windmill in sunny Amsterdam. A beautiful day here with the Ulti TV squad. We are your co-commentators, Corey Sostre and Sean Colfer. And John, we have a beautiful game lined up here so far, and it's going to be great, honestly.
Yeah, looking forward to it. There's two good teams here. SUFC Valkyria, Swedish team. They both went to Euros as an open and women's team last year, but coming together to play mixed here, and then mixed or Waitlist number 1, who are a collection of people from Seattle. Some names or some faces people probably recognize.
Exactly, and I mean, even then, shouts out to two teams, like I said before, in the highlight reel for Ulti TV, coming from all over the world. It's going to be a fun game. We're going to have a great time, and we are glad you are joining with us here as well. And so I guess while we wait, Sean, what can we expect from both of these teams?
I would say from SUFC, looking at how they played as open and women's teams at Euros, we can expect a lot of big shots. Look to play through Sarah Eklund, who's on the sideline at the moment, one of the best players in Europe, a Eurostar, has played at the top level for a long time. And from Waitlist number 1, I mean, they're all from Seattle, they're all going to be really good. There's definitely some people here who played for Sakai and Riot and other teams based in the Northwest, so I would imagine lots of good frisbee is what we can expect from them. Tactical points, I'm not quite as clear on. We'll see.
We'll see. And as they start the disc up the line, they are ready to go. And they sling it deep downfield. Is it going to be caught? Hard to see, but it is a catch. And that is a score for the hold for Valkyria. And wow, impressive start so far.
Yeah, nice score for Waitlist there. Nice play. It looked like they ran a windmill with they cleared the two side off the sideline, ran the third person deep and under, and then just banged it deep. I think it's a little lucky because it does look like the defender has a really good shot on it. So in future, perhaps they might snaffle that one. But a nice start for Waitlist. Good to get off the mark, 1-0.
And I was about to say there too, I even noticed you used a pun windmill in there. Shouts out to the tournament at Windmill.
Didn't even think about it. That's what we call that play when I played open. But yeah, a nice coincidence, I suppose.
Like I said, too, a mistake on my part. That is from Waitlist as well. Waitlist will be pulling, and as you can tell, they have some interesting jerseys here, shirts, kits, wherever your term is from your area. No numbers on there, so we're just kind of going off the vibes and maybe seeing what we can find.
Yeah, we are going to get names wrong. Anticipate that ahead of time. We recognize some of these people, but not all of them, and the fact that there's no numbers makes it quite difficult.
And that's the name of the game. So Valkyria gets the disc, and they have it about the brick mark. Let's see.
Looks like a kind of a loose, poachy set from Waitlist that they're forcing Valkyria to move the disc around quite a lot.
As Eriksson throws it back to the middle around the break mark. They still haven't broken midfield, Valkyria, but they're working it around, trying to find any gaps in this Waitlist number 1 team. You see Eriksson with the disc again. Throws it to Codwell. In power position, and it is thrown. Holds downfield, having to adjust, but it looks like it's going out of bounds, and Waitlist have an opportunity for a break early in the game.
Yeah, James Barneville there, one of the Valkyria captains, just not quite getting the right edge on it, and it just pushes it out of the field. Brett Matsuka bringing it in.
So we see Waitlist moving it across the field. Thinking about it, we're going back in the corner. They have some work to do. They've turned it. Valkyria within prime position.
Hey, Jack, get tight.
See them moving along the disc, waiting patiently, surveying the field for options. Eriksson waving his hands. Throws it across the field. Will they get there? And it is confirmed score.
Yeah, it's a bailout throw, really. Barneveld looked like he was in some trouble. Eriksson was free on the dump for a little bit, but as soon as Barneveld turned around, Seattle just really put on the clamps and made it really difficult. But it's a nice break to Sarah Eklund, I believe. Really good catch and good feet on the sideline there.
And it was really, again, great toe tap action right there without much use of the field, just being aware of the surroundings. And also just shouts out to both teams for having the great sportsmanship along there too, to kind of recognize that the goal was in. Yeah, you can see right here.
Yeah, you can see Eklund looks like the favorite the whole way. Yeah, it's great feet.
Oh, wow. Look at that emphatic stomp in, foot out, textbook. And Valhalla get on the board for the hold after a turn by Waitlist.
Yeah, it was a great poach block. Eriksson, recognizing the handler was looking downfield the whole way, just came off his mark and intercepted the pass pretty easily and turned it into an end zone set. Nice execution, although I think, you know, we can see already Seattle are going to make it really, really difficult defensively. Barneveld was in a tough situation there. It was a nice break bailout, but let's see how that goes the rest of the game.
And even, again, I want to emphasize with Seattle coming along together as they describe themselves, a smorgasbord of a team, still look like they have some great cohesion amongst each other in that Seattle area. As you see, Valhalla is making them back up a little bit more, but they're determined to get to the halfway point on the field. Finding an option, 1-2. Can Waitlist get into the red zone opportunity now? And it's a chuck downfield, and it is a catch downfield. Waitlist scored to make it 2-1.
Yeah, if you're going to throw it downfield to somebody, throwing it downfield to Simon Higgins is not a bad option. Nice bladey throw. Looked like he was pretty free at the end there. I think maybe just the defender saw the disc go over their head and didn't want to compete for it, which is fair enough. It was a great throw.
It was beautifully put right there. Again, we always love deep shots. Well-timed deep shots and beautiful deep shots like there in the end zone. And Waitlist off to a good start, both of them.
Yeah, they are. I think it was a positive point for Valkyria in the sense that they certainly made Waitlist work harder than they did on the first point. Made them move it around a bit, made them recess it quite a few times. We see here, comes back into the middle. Good fake and then just bang deep. And yeah, I think the defender knows he's beaten.
What a beautiful throw.
Yeah.
Prime position.
Drops it in perfectly.
Yes. Those are throws I wish when I was playing that I could make. Usually I'd be on the other end of them catching them, but oh my goodness. It's just butter on toast. Beautiful.
I wish I could make them consistently. There's definitely times where I am quite far off.
At least you try them.
Oh, I'll try. I'll keep trying.
Exactly. As we see Waitlist pull down deep to Valhalla.
What a pull.
And it is trapped within the end zone. They're seeing that they can work. Caldwell throwing it. Looking around for options. See Eriksson throws it up. Back to Caldwell. Barneveld throws it deep to Eriksson. Can he get there? He does. And they move it across. Eriksson with the disc. They're on the doorstep waiting patiently. Back to Eriksson. And that is a score. Valkyria, Sarah Eklund.
Yeah, Sarah Eklund, another one to add to the collection. Said earlier, she's one of the best players in Europe. She's been around for such a long time at this level. And a nice inside throw from Eriksson. And it's put Valhalla on the board again. I think it's going to be a long game of trying to see Sarah Eklund generate some yards with Barneveld and Eriksson throwing from what we've seen so far.
And as we can see, Eklund can move around, has the pace to get anywhere on the field, also has the ability to get open, as we saw right there in the end zone. And Eriksson, if you haven't heard our production enough, he wants the disc in his hands, facilitates the offense, peachy clean as you like. Valkyria 2-2.
Yeah, Eriksson, been around the Swedish scene for a long time as well. Obviously played for Sweden. Sweden Masters, I believe, when they won Beach Euros in 2019. So he's been around for a long time.
we get ready for the pull here. Faces of focus ready. Energy building. Hands are raised.
Sam Harkness directing traffic with the gloves on there. He's the captain of Waitlist, or at least he was the person that was nominated as the one that was supposed to be taking responsibility when I went to talk to them.
And is that in? That is an in pull for Valhalla. Waitlist have some work to do, but it's not work they're not familiar with. To get it to the break, and it's a deep throw, and it is caught. And it is a catch. A tough position right there for Waitlist in the back of the end zone, but they work it up with ease and they score to convert 3-2.
There was no hesitation on that huck, was there? That was a swing it over to the side and just let it rip, and it was absolutely pinpoint. It was really, really good. You're right. I think it's going to be something that Valkyria are going to have to switch around slightly to try and take away some of those deep shots, because at the moment Waitlist is getting them whenever they want, and they're really, really good at them. It's really making the D incredibly difficult.
As we can see here, just the throws are beautiful. And again, for a team that doesn't have terribly much experience together as one unit, look like they've been playing for a while.
Yeah, it just happens, I suppose, when you put people together that have played at such a high level for such a long time. You kind of pick things up as you go. They've had one game together. You know, they're really starting to gel, and it looks like it's pretty easy out there at the moment offensively.
Yeah, for both teams, I'd say too, as we see Valkyria getting ready to put their hands up and see if maybe they can cook for a while. And the pull is up. The wind is picking up here as well too. Maybe we might see a different defensive strategy. But nonetheless, the disc is centered to Eriksson. See Eklund. Back to Bonneville. Eriksson getting open. Now Valkyria halfway across the line. Barneville looking. Chucks it deep. Is it going to get there? And it is not. It is a D for Waitlist.
It was an interesting huck. It looked like it was going to be really, really close to the back of the end zone, even if it was on target, but it looked like it was even a little bit too high for him to catch right at the back of the end zone. And that's a big huck from Waitlist. Is it too far? Just a bit too far.
They don't hesitate to sling the thing either, but
they really don't.
And honestly, I think it's a win-win situation. You catch a good deep look, or you pin them back with that excellent punt. So Valkyria have a long way to go.
Yeah, they do. And like you said, the wind is starting to pick up. It's starting to become very swirly, and it's going to be really difficult to drive the disc into that wind when you're pinned on your own corner.
We have Bonneville picking up the disc. Valkyria scanning the field. Is there an option? Eriksson the option. Back to Bonneville. Fakes a pass. Eklund not afraid to sling it either. Is this gonna get there? Oh, an incredible bid. But it looks like there's an injury.
That is a great bid, but that is a great track down as well from Colbrad. A brilliant throw from Eklund right into a path. And it looks as though it might be a shoulder injury. So I think we're looking for a medic here. But that is a phenomenal throw, a phenomenal catch, and a phenomenal bid. It's a shame that it ends with an injury.
So you see here, just you never want to see injuries in the game, and it was a great effort.
Yeah, it's the shoulder.
Yeah.
That is a shame. That is a shame. It's a great bid. Really put everything into it to try and get the block. But that throw from Eklund, we were just saying the wind is starting to be a bit swirly and it's picked up a bit. And that was a same third throw straight into the receiver's path. That is an absolutely phenomenal huck.
Sean, I think you nailed it on the head right there. That was beautifully put. And it is a turn. It looks like Waitlist have an opportunity now. And that is turn 2. The wind might have pushed that low throw down.
It may well have done. That was an unfortunate mistake from Brett Matsuka. You don't see many of those, and it looks as though Waitlist actually were playing with 6 there because somebody hadn't noticed that the play had started after the injury. So I don't know, are we resetting? We might be resetting here to what we were after the injury call. It looks as though that's what's happening here. So it's going to go back to Colbrad, and the last 2 turns didn't matter. Didn't happen. What turns?
That was just a nice intermission play, I guess, just to, you know, get our spirits back up.
Yeah, just toss it around a bit. Everyone just jogging around, getting back into the game. But it looks as though we're going back to Colbrad, resetting just after the huck. All right, then. Oh, they were playing with 5?
I was about to say, I'm counting my fingers and toes here. Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, great. They were very confident. Let's just go. Doesn't matter how many we got. All right, here we go.
Here, Caldwell. Where's it back? Ball carrier waiting. Barneville with the disc in his hands. Eriksson. Back to Caldwell. Barneville, excuse me. And it's a scoob in the back, but it's taken by Waitlist out of thin air.
I think if there was a player at this tournament I didn't want to challenge in the air, Simon Higgins would be very high on that list.
And I think you're right about that one. As Waitlist, as we've seen before, are not afraid to chuck it deep, get into the red zone, waiting for a fake scoober, but a real scoober, and it's cash money.
That was a no-look scoober, I think, but I think it was one of those fake no-looks where he's looked at the receiver and then looked away before he's thrown it. So I don't mean to take away from the coolness of it. It was pretty cool, but still, wide open receiver, scuba from Matsuka. Nice point for Waitlist, considering where we were right on their end zone line there.
Exactly, and even with teams happening between major injuries like we just saw, you can either kind of be affected by that and let it affect your play, or you can come out resilient and strong. And it seems like Waitlist getting a break there, coming up 4-2.
Yep, nice break. Good D in the end zone. And then, like we've said before, they are just not afraid to bang it. And sling it deep. Off we go.
And 2 Scooby stacks right there. I mean, that's always a good sign from the fans.
Not heard that one before. Valkyria regrouping. Looks like they're playing a pretty similar O-line every time. It's kind of similar faces. They're getting some nice movement in the handler space. They are being able to move it around. They are getting that movement. It's just, I think, the final pass. And when Waitlist really lock in, make that movement quite difficult in a much tighter area around the red zone. Valkyria was struggling to get anything open.
And it seems like, too, Waitlist are kind of focusing on the handler sets and the key players of Valkyria, making the decisions a little bit harder as they recognize their foe. Eriksson centers the disc to Barneville.
Another incredible call.
Oh my goodness. And Waitlist applying pressure deep. So we see here, Varant throwing it back to Eriksson. Throwing it across the field. Caldwell. Eklund. Back to Eriksson. Caldwell. Barneville. Wertling throws it back to Barneville. Valkyria working midway point around with the disc. Caldwell. Redling throws it deep. And Waitlist recover. Wow. Nedgeberg just kind of waiting for the disc in the air there. Not attacking it, waiting for the high point. And Waitlist getting up, getting a D. Impressive.
Yeah, another situation where Simon Higgins sees one in the air and just goes and gets it. And it looks as though that may have injured him. He's hobbling off slightly. Groin maybe, but that was a very nice block.
I agree with you, Sean. I think it might have just hit him. Got a nick there in the groin area. But he did smack it all the way behind the porta potty. As we see there, the walk from Waitlist.
Desperate trying to think of a joke, but we'll move on. We'll move on.
I was about to say maybe a smell joke, but
yeah. Another chance for Waitlist.
You see here for Valkyria, a poach by Eklund leaves it deep. Waitlist at the brick, and just too far. Valkyria with an opportunity around half field.
Eklund did a really good job there of taking them away from that first look. They wanted that slash across the field to gain yards. Eklund made that cutter go all the way back in, took away 5 or 6 yards just by poaching, and then just a slight miscue from Waitlist.
Bonneville sends it to Eriksson. Eriksson to Caldwell across the other sideline now. Eriksson pushed all the way back to the brick. Caldwell working with no mark right now, it seems like, as they're trying to poach Waitlist. And it's a deep shot from Eriksson to Eklund. Is she going to get there? She gets there.
She'll always get there.
She will. Valkyria up 4-3. Or down, excuse me, the other way. Sorry, we get so caught up within the excitement in the game. Misspeak a little bit.
There was a really nice throw from Eriksson to Eklund, and really nice offense from Valkyria once they got the disc back there. As you say, Corey, there was a lot of poaching, a lot of Waitlist trying to get in lanes and force a block, particularly the third handler coming all the way over into the middle of the field. But Valkyria were patient, just kept working it to the open receiver, or open handler, get it back in the middle, and really nice shot. Plenty of room there, and if there's a person on the Valkyria team you're backing at the moment to bring in that score, it's definitely Sarah Eklund.
As well saying, Sean, that's just a brilliant analysis of that point right there. Folks, you're tuning in to some of the best right here in Ulti TV. We could not have done it without our patrons here. And if you are watching this stream and not a patron yet, we ask that you please consider donating to us, as this allows us to bring us more content, better content. We have 2 streams going on in the other way too, the other mixed game division. But for €4 a month, that's not too bad, you know? Get a nice pint, watch some great Frisbee. Not much to do on a better day in Amsterdam.
Absolutely not. Yep. It's great having this kind of coverage available for free on YouTube. So anyone else wants to join in with the Ulti TV adventure, definitely go to the website and let's get more games streamed.
So we see Waitlist now working it midway as they call for poaches. Deep shot wide open, but maybe a better decision not to, as Waitlist are just continuously working it up the field in the red zone, ready to punch it in the end zone. So we see players in the way. We're trying to get a good look here. First to the cone, nope, Waitlist. Waiting, and now listing the point. That is 5-3 as they take the lead, continue to take the lead, I should say, to build on their lead.
Yeah, that was a zone point from Valkyria that didn't seem to work particularly well. Waitlist went through it like a hot knife through butter, to coin a phrase. You heard the fire call after about 5 or 6 passes, Valkyria getting out of it and going back to match, but that didn't slow down Waitlist either. As we see, nice handler movement, and then straight up the line. Comes back, and then the same person goes straight up the line. Lovely. Really nice offense on the end zone, and at the moment it looks like Waitlist are dealing with everything Valkyria are throwing at them defensively. There's nothing really that's slowed them down. I think the only kind of turnovers we've seen from Waitlist were kind of errors.
Exactly. And even then too, like you said earlier, Sean, just with the experience that Waitlist have, you can tell being chilly within the end zone sets, making good throws, not turning the disc over as much. It's paying dividends so far against a Valkyria team that is very experienced as well. They know how to run.
Yeah, this is a good Valkyria team. Like, as we go through the tournament, obviously with the Swiss draw, it means that we're not seeing the usual bracket play, pool play. We're seeing teams kind of matched up against each other based on results so far. So this is 2 good teams. As we go through the tournament, we're going to see this Valkyria team beat a lot of people. So this is a really impressive showing so far by Waitlist.
Waitlist with their hands up. And the disc is up and pulled.
Nice pull.
Eriksson catches the pull. Throws it to Caldwell. Caldwell to Eklund. Back to Caldwell. Host to Eriksson. Fakes it. Host to Caldwell. Caldwell looking around. Throws it back to Eriksson. Some handler play between the two. And it's just out of the reach of Rontif right there for Valkyria. As Waitlist pick up the disc around half field. Sling it deep, nothing new. But it's still a beauty to watch every time. A great box out maneuver and a score for a break for Waitlist to go up 6-3.
That was great boxing out. You could see the disc was fading over her head, and she knew it as well. Just made sure that the defender couldn't get around her, put herself in a great position to reel it in, and another just sling it deep point from Waitlist. Another point, which is unfortunate for Valkyria because they were working around really nicely offensively there. I think they had some nice movement, they had good connections, and it was just a slight miscue into the middle of the field that there was a turnover. But look at that, just pick it up and off it goes. Boom.
Just like a rocket in the air, just flies and then comes down. Again, brilliant box out technique and the way to snipe it away from Caldwell and Eklund in the end zone. Again, not an easy feat to do either.
No, Eklund was getting very close, but really good play by Waitlist. 6-3. It's starting to become a pretty daunting task for Valkyria to get back into this game. Not seeing many chinks in the armor of Waitlist at the moment.
And the Valkyria hands are up. Waitlist hands are up, and the pull is coming. And that thing is taking off. What an incredible pull.
The pulls here in this game so far have been absolutely fantastic.
They have been mesmerizing. As Eriksson centers it to Barneville.
Another disc on the field. I think that's a brick on the other field.
Back to the action. Barneville looking around. Eklund getting the disc. Caldwell back to Eklund. Eriksson to Hodes. Barneville looking for Ront. Throws it to Eriksson. Waitlist are not making it easy at all as Valkyria looking for options around. Valkyria waiting, scanning around. Hodes with the disc. Chucks it deep.
Ooh.
Wedling, where's this disc gonna go? It looks like it's fading left. Beautiful box out technique from Waitlist. And it looks like a foul is called.
That was, the huck was a bit loopy, wasn't it? He threw it up in the air rather than forward, and it just was hanging and swinging both sides. It was a good read from Harkness, but it does look as though there's a bit of contact on the block. It's close, it's a close call. I think Harkness probably gets there first, but there is maybe contact afterwards.
And with that contact afterwards, does that inhibit the ability to catch the disc and follow through?
It's close, it's tough because it looked like they both read it pretty well, then they both misread it, and it looks as though the foul has been retracted, so tap the ground and off we go, which is good spirit, good discussion from them both. But another point where Valkyria were moving it around pretty well, but you could see Waitlist dropping off into lanes and taking away throws. Every throw that Valkyria took was a pretty high stall count. You had 6, 7. The one in the center there where Eriksson had the disc must have been a good 8 or 9. And when they're taking so long to make these throws and they're taking away all these easy options, eventually you're going to make a mistake.
And as we see there, even then you could maybe say it was a punt from Valkyria there to make Waitlist go, but Waitlist chuck it deep because that's what they like to do. It's almost a catch, but Eklund on the defense to give Valkyria a chance to hold.
I said earlier if there was one person on the field I wouldn't challenge, it's Simon Higgins. I think Eklund might be second on that list. I think it was an interesting choice to challenge her deep, and she shows that she's up to that challenge.
See Barneville with the disc. Eklund scanning. Gives it to Hodes. Hodes looking at Barneville, not getting it there, but back to Eriksson. Eriksson looks at Caldwell. Caldwell scanning, waiting for cuts. And it is a poach from Waitlist. As maybe they're looking deep as well too. But it's a hammer instead, and it's a good hammer. And it's a throw up line for a break. That is Waitlist 7. Valkyria 3 after another break.
Yeah, and it looks like a lot of tired legs from Valkyria there. You could see as they were running around on offense, they had the disc in this near corner near their own brick mark, and there was just no movement at all, which is to be expected when you've been playing so many points and you're having to play so hard against a really tough D. But it looks as though they're putting on their D-line now to get those O-line players a bit of a rest.
As we see here, just Waitlist get the disc in prime position right outside the red zone. A hammer showing out the arsenal, the tool set. And then an OI for the score. And here, Waitlist dominating.
It's just that long game, isn't it? Every time they're throwing it long, they're either completing it or getting close, and they're like Valkyria having to run everything down. At the moment, Waitlist are doing, they're not wasting any movement. There's nothing that they're doing that Valkyria can kind of just let go, and that is just exhausting the O-line. They're having to work so hard to get open, and then having to chase down the full field after people because of these hooks going out.
And then it's point after point after point, too, especially if you get broken here. And Waitlist are looking to break again for half. And that's why we see a different line from Valkyria, maybe giving their O-line some breaks.
Yeah, it's impressive from Seattle at the moment.
And the hand is up. Waitlist are ready to go, and they chuck it down deep. And let's see if the D-line for Valkyria can perform. So you see here, there was a low pass. Number 61, Colbrad. Colbrad looking around. Eklund. Across the field, the wind's picking up, but it's no problem for Colbrad as he has the height. Boom, looking around. And a tough inside throw to Drennan, but Drennan gets it back. Boom. Scooper again, half the field. Both teams bringing out their skill sets right now. Eklund back, and it's an impressive catch. Laying out Colbrad. Armentrout. Boom. Boom scanning. Hammer across the field. It's staying, and it's just dropped. Even two hands secured.
It's a tough catch as it's coming over his shoulder. He's having to run forward while it's dropping over his left shoulder. It was a tough catch, but there's some chances being taken by Valkyria there. A couple of scoopers, a couple of layout grabs. It was a great grab by Sam Fister.
And you can see there for Valkyria, too, just the energy that they have with this fresh D-line. Let's see if it pays dividends to play D against Waitlist. We are in Cal territory. Always hope. Maybe not this point, though.
No.
And it's taking off. You can see the gun. Waitlist running. It sits perfectly, and it's money. Take it to the bank. It is Friday afternoon, and Waitlist go up 8-3 to take that to half.
Yeah, that throw is absolute money. That is so good that it gets all the way out in front of the receiver, leads it to the end zone, and then slows down just as it gets there so she can run onto it. Fantastic throw, and a tough point for Valkyria because, again, they had nice movement. Moved it around, got it all the way up to the end zone, and then that hammer to Lee Anderson, and he couldn't quite reel it in. Like we said, tough catch, but look at that throw. That is an absolute peach.
Wow. Wow.
So it turns out the team from Seattle, Corey, are quite good.
I agree.
Which is a surprise to us all, I'm sure.
Has it in her cross, and it's a goal! My goodness, at least Spek, you let side, Murphy. And then floats that one out. Huge bid, gets the touch. What a grab! DV!
We believe mixed is the best for the sport, for the world. That's why we're making a global showcase, starting in Europe, made in Amsterdam. LTV. LTV.net.
So loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on Ultical.
And we are back in Windmill for the second half against Waitlist and Valkyria. Tail of the first half, pretty close before, but Waitlist kind of running around, making some brilliant throws, playing some brilliant defense, and we'll see if they can keep it up in the second half.
Yeah, it's been a tough game so far for Valkyria, who are playing pretty well and they're moving it around pretty nicely, but Waitlist are kind of opening the door to some throws and then shutting it really quickly, and they're poaching off in lanes and they're making Valkyria make loads and loads of passes, taking away their first option. And once you cycle through your second and third option so frequently, it just becomes more and more difficult. It's like walking a tightrope. Waitlist are doing a great job of pushing them off that tightrope and then banging it deep.
As we see here, second half is ready to get underway. Waitlist finishing talking about their huddles. Valkyria clap, hand up, vibes on, disc up. And the disc rides to Eriksson. Barneville, let's see if this Valkyria O-line can maybe cook up something different or have some answers in the second half, as they played plenty of points. Barneville having to go to his knees for that one. Barneville looking for options. Can anything happen? And it's thrown up to Eklund. Not a bad idea, but it's snagged right out of the air. And Waitlist had the disc again with an opportunity to break.
That's a great block from Simon Higgins.
And an excellent throw that drops right in front. Looks like maybe the wind might have killed that one's momentum right before it got there. It looks like it was going to hang a little bit.
Yeah, it's like we said earlier, the wind's quite swirly and there was just enough edge on that to push it down as it was coming downwind.
Barneville throws it. Oh, it's a little bit of a hot potato right there, but it goes and it's caught. Wendling is looking around. I stall Caldwell Verot. And Waitlist come down with the disc in the red zone. Oh, wow. A left-handed snag right there. Keep the drive alive. Very calm 1-2. And players are just open for Waitlist at the moment. Some cheeky flicks, cheeky fakes, and that's another score for Waitlist, a 9-3 break.
Yeah, that looked like an offhand break by Simon Higgins for the score, but there was some really cool stuff in that point. That was a good point. There's a bit more of a swirly wind and the disc's hanging. That block by Simon Higgins, completely clean when you've got somebody kind of going up for it as well. It's a good D, but it's also really impressive spirit, being able to control the body like that. And then you see Waitlist get it over onto the break side. It's this fake up the line, and they get it over onto the break side, and then they just don't give up that advantage from there. You see, gets over to Simon Higgins, fakes the right, left over the shoulder.
Oh my gosh. That left-handed, not an elevator, but just saucy.
Yeah, opened it up with the right-handed break, gave himself a window and just left-handed it through that window. And the block over here, again, without the names for Waitlist, it becomes relatively difficult to know who got the block, but that was pretty sick. Just reached over the top of her and snatched it away. It was really cool.
So I was saying another cutter threat with Varant. She's known to get the disc as well open too, so that's no easy feat. Waitlist really showing their class here.
But it was another situation as well where you had Rettling in that far corner and he had to cycle through 4 or 5 different options because Waitlist is just taking everything away. They're putting Valkyria into so many high stall situations. It's impossible to play offense like that.
It is. And Waitlist here with Bull hanging a bit. Is it going to stay in? Doesn't matter. Bowen picks it up. You see Bowen with the disc now. Sam Fisk. Back to Bowen. Up. Is it going to be completed? Ah, and it's close. But Waitlist immediately pick up the disc and get to work. This disc coming up, and it is smacked out of the air.
Oda Humlong with a great D.
Wow, she got up for that, and now Valkyria have great field position right inside the end zone. A little bit mix of their D-line and O-line here. Upper Button has the disc. Can there be any options open? Faking some passes to making some passes. And it is connection, and Fisk scores for Valkyria's first point in a long time, 9-4.
Yeah, that was a really nice point. Oda Humlong showing off those indoor hops, getting that block and then throwing the score. Really, really nice point from Valkyria to get the disc back after that turnover, which, to be honest, that huck I thought was a pretty good option. Had enough inside on it to make it sit a little bit. It was just a little too far in front of the receiver. But we see here it comes back, gets over to Humlong with a really nice inside, and Humlong just continues it on the break side. Nice point for Valkyria. They needed that.
And even then, maybe a change of their personnel there. Like I said, mixing those lines together, the O-line and D-line, throwing a little bit of a new look for Waitlist. Could Waitlist be putting their foot a little bit off the gas? Maybe, whatever you decide. But right there, Valkyria will take the point to go 4-9. And we have just about 20 minutes left within this match. Or, excuse me. Actually, nope, I did my math wrong. 30 minutes.
30 minutes. Plenty of time.
Plenty of time.
Big comeback. Let's go. D-roll.
I was like, comeback round time?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Sorry to any Waitlist fans listening out there, but not really. I'm looking for a D-roll. Everyone wants an exciting game.
Valkyria had the disc. Looks like they're going to go a little bit more with their strategy here. Had the D-line back out. And it is soaring in the air. What a beautiful pull. Waitlist having to adjust. The wind's picking up here, so we can see with some of the trees in the back. Snagged out of the air. I'm just trying to get a read. Snagged out of the air too by Waitlist.
The 2 hucks both blocked right in front of them. That's funny. Because that catch from Lee Anderson was incredible reactions. My head had already snapped to follow the huck. It was a great catch.
And it was right in front of our camera too. Lee Anderson getting the hops. Waitlist pass coming in a little bit with too much hot sauce there. As we see it's her and Valkyria working up to get the disc for a break.
Yeah, they need this because at the moment it looks as though they've been struggling to get yards, but the D-line had some success on the last time round, and here they go again.
And a toss. Drendon is going to get to Lee Anderson. And it does, but something might have been tweaked in the back.
I also have no idea if that is at the back of the end zone. It looks like it's been called a goal. It's been called a goal, but he is down at the back of the pitch there holding his hamstring.
He looks like he's in some real pain as well, too.
That defensive bid, did he get a hand on that? Because if he got a hand on that, that is an absolutely outrageous catch from Fisk. It's as he's extended to catch it, isn't it? He's just felt that hamstring. Couldn't quite tell on that layout block if there was a hand on it, but it was a fantastic bid by Hussein Carnegie. Really, really good layout. I think he got a hand on it, and it was just a brilliant reaction catch from Fisk.
Yeah. It was close. And close only counts in horseshoes here, as we see.
I have never heard that phrase before in my life.
Really now?
No. Not a horseshoes fan, clearly.
Neither am I. There's another part to that, but I'll tell you that after the stream.
Fair enough.
from Valkyria here, ready to pull the disc down deep.
It's 2 points in a row.
It's comeback time, it seems like.
Here we go. Speak it into existence. Let's go.
Plenty of time and plenty of arm for Valkyria as Waitlist take the disc after getting broken.
Another good pull.
As we hear from the Waitlist sidelines too, there's a zone by Valkyria. Sam Higgins with the disc now. And they're just slicing through this thing like cheese. Right in the end zone. A little bit of an ambitious throw could wait. Uncharacteristic right here for Waitlist to have that, I guess, rush of a decision on the goal line. But Valkyria will take it anyway as we see Boehm walking up for the disc.
Yeah, like you said, they were going through that so easily. It seemed like they had so much time the entire way through. It was an unusual mistake from Sam Hartness, who's been metronomic so far in this game with the disc. But really, really good opportunity here for Valhalla.
Boehm looking around. Grunmudden. Valkyria trying to work the disc to the brick in a tough position. Again, this Waitlist defense on both sides of the line it's tough.
Yeah, and you can see that they're completely swamped, and that is a beautiful throw over the top.
In power position as well. And that is coming out.
That's a shame. And the defender caught it, so now they're going to have to take it from the front cone. So if the defender had let it hit the deck, they would have been taking it from the sideline where it went out, but because the defender caught it, they're taking it from the front cone.
This might be the first time I've seen something like this.
Yeah, and so that technically is a travel, and that is rules, knowledge, and use, I would say.
Yeah. To see, let's just have a little bit more of a feel to go, but they bring it right back to where the throw was at anyway. It's a chuck downfield, staying up. Looks like it's fading a little bit left now. Oh, wow, an emphatic catch to go up 10-5. That was amazing.
That was a great catch. It looked as though Eklund had a better read on it, but that is just a really impressive catch away from Sophia Eklund and putting it on the board, because that was another throw that was a bit loopy up in the air in this kind of breeze. Makes it really tough. But yeah, good catch and puts them up 10-5. I've also noticed, and it's probably my fault because I've seen SUFC play before at Euros last year when they were Valkyria as a women's team. We've been calling them Valkyria the whole time. They're actually Valhalla. So I apologize for putting you off and making you do it wrong by mixing up my Nordic V's.
No, that is definitely fine. Again, we do see some Valkyria players on this team as well too, paying respect to them. And honestly, at this point, I think they're just happy to be here. They're having fun.
So Valhalla about to receive the disc.
We see Valhalla / Valkyria ready to go, clapping up. Focused as Waitlist are ready to go. Waitlist pull it deep.
Obi. One of very few bricks we've seen so far. Been a very high level of pulling. Big poach off on Sarah Eklund on the break side.
So Hodes throws it to Eklund. Eklund goes back to Eriksson, right at the brick. Barneville looks at Eriksson. Eriksson, Eklund. And you see Eklund here too, starting more back in the handler set compared to cutting. Maybe to aid a little bit more with some bailout throws, as she's done here. Hodes, Barneville. Rettling running down the field open. Eklund looking at options. And Valhalla / Valkyria just keep pushing it back further and further to their own end zone. And as Waitlist we're waiting for, a mistake happens, and they're right in the end zone set. A Blady OI, and it just slips out the hands. It looked like it was about to be a score.
Yeah, I think that's just a drop because that throw I think was on point, and maybe the wind has pushed it down slightly, but you can see Waitlist here are playing a very, very soft handle mark. They're pushing Valhalla to just keep making throws.
See here, Eklund with the disc, scanning the field, throws it to Barneville, but they keep progressing back further. And that is a turn by Caldwell. As Waitlist pick it up, take their options, and that is a calculated break to go up 11-5 here in the 49th minute of the game.
Yeah, just a lot of two short field opportunities for Waitlist, and a team that good, you can't give them 10, 15 yards to go to the end zone. But I mean, we'll see if they do it on the next point, but they're just playing a really soft three-handler mark. They're doing a lot of switching in the backfield, so if someone comes back in to try and fill in a handler mark, they'll just switch downfield. They're really tight downfield and giving them those handler kind of resets, those 5-10 yard passes. But those passes are great. It moves the disc around, it keeps the disc moving side to side, but there's just no forward momentum. And eventually, when you keep making these passes, as we've seen there was one that Eriksson couldn't quite get his hands on, and then one with a little bit too much on it from an IO that couldn't quite really hit either. You just start making mistakes, particularly in a win like this. So really smart stuff from Waitlist, making their opponents make loads of passes and just waiting for the mistake.
And as we see here, people are asking for the scores of different matches. And of course, as you've been answering in the comment sections as well, there is a Windmill app that you can do. And it does take a little bit of updating too, but there is another web browser as well that is updated frequently. I'm trying to get the name of that. It looks like windmill-info-screens.herokuapp.com. That allows you to get live scores as well. Valhalla with the disc.
This is another D-line for Valhalla.
So we see here, Valhalla looking to get about halfway through. And the diff is caught. Madison looking for options. Not a lot of options here. Ball and bails are out as they wait around the red zone. And Janssen. And around, but it's out of here as Waitlist smack it to the ground and pick up again for another break opportunity.
Read that the whole way, didn't he? Started running his route for him.
Took a play right there by Eklund. Looks like a foul called. Uncontested.
Yeah, Hoda Humlung thought about it. I don't know whether she was trying to remember what the hand signal was, but it did look like a foul. It looked like she hit her arm as the throw was coming out.
And it's a power position for Waitlist, but they're about half field. Now working it up to the red zone. So we see the winds picking up here. Shirts are swirling, but not affecting Waitlist's play. Maybe I spoke a little too soon, I believe.
Yeah, just a drop on the dump again, I think. The receiver clapping her hands after the drop.
Bohm throws it to Fisk. Fisk throws it back to Bohm. And it's up by Bohm. And it just drives down, and it's a bid by Drennan, an effort. None to say, but I think the wind put that down.
I think he's bid for it because it's dropping, and as he's bid for it, the wind has pushed it back up. So he's actually bid underneath it, which looked really funny, but it's just because the wind is really difficult to predict at the moment. And that, to be honest, I think it was a good shot because he had loads of space. I think there must have been a busted coverage somewhere, but I hope we get a replay of that because I thought that looked really funny. So timeout here, called by Waitlist. Everyone's just catching their breath because it's been a pretty furious game, and we're going to go for a quick break.
Connor. Yes, Connor. Have you signed up to the Ultra TV Patreon yet? No, not yet. Why? Waitlist best get on it before London Invite. They've got 16 of the best men's and women's teams from around Europe, and it's the last stop before Worlds, and it's only $350 a month. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Well, I'll get on it late. It's on the right tab for you there as well.
And we are back from the timeout as Waitlist look to set up their O-line, getting ready to go.
Looking around the other fields, it looks like there's an interesting game going on between Kroot, the European champions, and Smog, the UK national champions. So those two teams haven't played in a while because Smog did not go to Euros last year. It's 8-7 to Smog at the moment, which is going to be a very interesting game to monitor.
And we are checking within the Windmill app for these scores, as you can do as well too to download. Keep up with the live action while also staying with us here on the stream.
A couple of tight, interesting games. But let's get the focus back on here for Waitlist picking it up on their offense.
And Waitlist throwing it deep almost immediately. The adjustment, but the wind takes it down too. Looked like it might have stayed up a little bit longer, but Rodmoon picks up the disc. Aaron Janssen. Jordan looking inside. Is there any options for Valhalla as they get ready to punch in the disc? They're swinging it around. It's close, but Fist throws it right outside the reach. Run button throws it back. Aaron Janssen.
It's going backwards, aren't they?
I think a hand was on that disc,
Oh.
but Bulb just gets enough, some toe tap action to get the score.
Well, it made me look stupid there, didn't he? As I say, they're going backwards. That is an absolutely beautiful around backhand. Looks like for a score. There's some discussion about whether he was in. We don't have a replay at the moment. It looks like they've just said, score, carry on. So it counts, it counts. But yeah, just as I say, they're going backwards. He pivots backwards and rips an around backhand to the end zone, which is a very nice throw.
It was, and again, tight lines right there as well too, to kind of tiptoe that end zone. It was tough defense again by Waitlist. They're making them really earn these throws and catches.
It's so difficult pivoting against your body like that. And he goes backwards and just puts so much edge on the disc. It's a beautiful throw.
Wow. Aaron Janssen getting the assist there. And Valhalla takes it 11-6 right now. But they still have loads of work to do.
They do, they do. But I think they're getting really, really good success with getting some of this movement downfield from their women. Oda Humlong and Sarah Eklund have been doing a really good job so far in this game. Kind of getting the disc, resetting it, kind of churning up those 5-10 yards at a time. Valhalla are really having to work hard to get this movement, and those two in particular have been doing a great job. So another D-line out for Valhalla. Been getting some breaks in the second half.
So I'll say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. As we see Sam Fisk with the disc, getting ready to pull it. The D-line's been providing some different looks, I should say, for Waitlist, as they've gotten some points off of them. And it is pulled deep. Waitlist waiting for this disc.
What a pull.
It was an amazing pull. And Waitlist gingerly moving it up. The gold cleats. Throwing it perfectly in stride, and Waitlist punch it in, almost. Hard to see from this angle. But they're ready to go. No person on the mark here. And just an easy throw, honestly, for a score. Waitlist up 12-6.
Yeah, no mark, just put it out to the break side for Sam Harkness, who reeled in that huck Just a pretty straightforward point from Waitlist there. It looks as though VALHALLA were trying to match up downfield, but just someone a blown coverage. I don't know whether Sam Hartness came from the handler space. He's been there for most of the game, so whether it was a case of downfield, they're all backing them, and then someone comes through from the handler space. But reels in the huck. You see Matsuka there with the American rules, touching the floor. Don't need to do that.
That's what I say. I'm still getting adjusted to that one myself.
Yeah, and look at this, just wide open. No one there. Out on the break side, easy.
As you see here, the game going to the 60th minute. 10 minutes remain, but now it's a time to see if Waitlist can tip the 15 first, or is the time going to go off, or can VALHALLA rack up some points here to make it closer? I don't know. So many questions to be answered as we bring it to you live from Amsterdam, the Windmill tournament, here alongside myself, Corey Sostre, and Sean Colfer. Having a beautiful day, I should say.
Too beautiful. It's too hot.
It is hot. It is hot. And Barneville with the disc. Gives it to Caldwell. Barneville back. He looks off Colbrad. Trying to find Eriksson. Throws a scuba to Eriksson. And they get halfway through. See, look. Colbrad. Veron. Is it throw? And Veron throws it away for VALHALLA. Gives Waitlist about the disc at half point.
Just another situation where there's just poachers all over the place, poachers in the lane, shutting options down, leaving people open, but leaving people open in like the worst positions for an offense.
And as we see here, Waitlist chuck it deep. Is it going to get there? It's going to get there.
That's a pretty good catch.
It's a really good catch, too, as we see Seattle Waitlist here getting another score for 13-6. And as we see in the comments as well, asking some questions about where Waitlist are from. They are from Seattle.
Yeah.
And, again, just players mixed from different teams that have chemistry within each other. That's why they don't have any jersey numbers or anything. They're just here in Windmill enjoying a great time as such as we.
That's also why we're saying very few names. I mean, I know some of these people, but I don't know many of them, which is not ideal. But then without the jersey numbers, it's pretty much impossible to tell.
Exactly. I think, Sean, you had a little bit of conversation with them earlier.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to say, yeah, you know, the person with the brown hair.
Yeah. Gloves?
Just like
gloves, maybe? There's one person, 2 people. Oh, no, there's 2 people with gloves. That ruins that.
You know, the one with the black tie-dyed shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They did accept that it was potentially their fault that they weren't going to be getting many names mentioned. So at least there's that. But it's been a really impressive performance from them. And you see some Riot hats around. There's definitely some people who play for Sakai, maybe some Voodoo players as well. They're very, very good, wherever they played from. Or played for, sorry.
Agreed. As VALHALLA is experiencing this with us now as they get ready for the disc. And a beautiful pull coming down right in the grass for Wetling. Cheeky inside, but it just dies down as Waitlist have it in the red zone again, ready to capitalize on the opportunity. Can they punch it in to make it 14 as a pick is called? Waitlist moving the disc around. Fakes it. Wind picking up here, but it's unaffecting them.
Nice throw from Simon Higgins.
And what a cheeky score that was. Some wow. Again, you're watching some professionals at work here, I'll say. They are really, really calm and cool with the disc. You don't feel any errors are going to come as well. And it's just mesmerizing to watch as they go up 14-6.
You can tell the confidence there as well, because we had the disc over on the sideline and standing there for a good 3 or 4 seconds with nothing happening. But we have confidence that we are going to make something happen. We see he comes back to Matsuka, breaks to put it back out near that sideline, and then there's enough confidence in themselves to just stand and look like, well, let's just wait, something's going to happen, and then there it is. You don't see them panic, you don't see all 4 people in the end zone moving, you don't see the the dump, really demanding it and starting getting antsy. Everyone's just very calm, knows what's going on, and they execute. I think we might be seeing this team on the stream later on in the tournament, Corey. I think we might be seeing them in some more consequential games than this one.
I hope so. Again, it's been a pleasure to watch so far, just kind of dominating these teams. And if anything, if we don't, that just talks about the level of play here at this tournament. Windmill. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's been a high level so far. There's some really good teams here in all 3 divisions.
So see here, Eriksson centering it right here for Valhalla. Aaron Janssen looking at Eriksson, waiting for something to happen. Caldwell open in the middle, but he throws it back to Eriksson. Back to Erik. Onsen back to Eriksson. Caldwell. Aaron Janssen throws to Eriksson.
Faked you out there.
Faked me out.
See this poach in the middle as well, like they're just dropping off every time.
As Caldwell gets it back around the brick.
Matsuka dropping off, poaches in the middle. Higgins now poaching in the middle. It's just people everywhere.
And Barneville gets the disc. Back to Caldwell. Ronti. Aaron Janssen. Eklund. Fakes a deep shot back to Eriksson. And with these many passes going, Waitlist are really making them try to gain these yards. It feels though maybe a mistake might be coming soon, just with the amount of passes and short yardage.
Yeah, this is exactly what their D is set up to do.
And Eriksson's there deep. Waitlists are there deep too. The wind gets him much, but Eriksson getting at the highest point. Caldwell codes for the score, and that is 7 for Valhalla.
Really good catch from Eriksson. Good concentration the whole way. Matsuka made it hard, but as a handler myself, that is a situation I recognize. Oh no, my person's gone deep. I'm just going to try. But it was a nice catch from Eriksson, and they really needed that. I think you're right, Corey. The more they moved it around the back, the more you can kind of sense this is the point where they've made mistakes earlier in the game, in other points. But that time, Eriksson busted deep into all the space that was left, and a nice point, Valhalla. It's a lovely throw.
It really was. And maybe a little bit of a gift from the wind too, kind of hanging it up a little bit longer for Waitlist. But Eriksson is unfazed as he finds Caldwell. And then Caldwell just pitching a catch for Hote in the end zone to make it 7.
So here we go then, game point.
This is the start, as you said, Sean, of game point. Could be the last point in the game, could not. We'll see what Waitlist decide to do. As we hit the 67th minute, 3 minutes left in the game. And again, the rules with this kind of tournament is once the horn goes off, or the hooter, wherever you're from, the game is decided at that point. It doesn't continue on. There's no soft cap, and it can end in a draw.
Yeah, we saw a game earlier on, ending a draw, 13-13 draw for Eurotrash. Oh, big hut there.
I'm gonna snag out the air. Waitlist go. Don't even need the horn as they finish it 15-7. And that's the game.
That was a tasty catch from Hussein as well. That was behind him. He jumped into the end zone and reached backwards. That was a really nice catch. Although, I mean, the catch from the Huck was also excellent under some pretty severe pressure from Valhalla. But a very, very impressive outing for Seattle Waitlist, as I suppose we should call them.
And a team with a little bit not as known information as other teams here showed and brought respect in high-level play in this game against a very strong Valhalla team. And it was amazing to watch, John. I mean, just everything was very calculated, very calm, very cool with how they were doing it.
Yeah, that Valhalla team, they're no mugs. They're going to be a team that's going to do well. They could well make the bracket, but Waitlist, very, very good. Very, very good, very complete. A lot of trust in each other. Don't seem to have really any weak links. So they're aggressive, huck it and bring them down and just sky people. A game is going to be pretty effective, I would say, as we continue with the rest of the weekend.
Exactly, and as we continue here, again, we are going to wrap up this commentary, but don't go anywhere, folks, as we bring you the next set of games within this first day of Windmill on Friday. I'm your host, Corey Sostre, along with Sean Colfer, but don't go anywhere. Tune in soon.
See ya. So we've got the other games that are going on the screen at the moment. Looks like Deep Space have gone up against Pelt, so that was a relatively close one. Deep Space, who were finished second in the UK. Pelt, who went to Euros and finished 9th last time around. They haven't played for a while. We've got Groot and Smog tied at 9s, which, as I said earlier, is a very interesting game because that is the European champion, the UK champion, playing against each other. Smog coming with a pretty good roster. Groot looks to me as though they've got pretty much a full roster. So those are two teams that you can look to be doing well. We've had an update there. Smog up, so it must be trading. So it's 11-10 there. We've got a few other interesting games here. Pooty seems to be doing well. NC Southern Hospitality, another American team. They're a team based around North Carolina, so we've got some Ring players, some Boneyard players, I think some Phoenix players. Reading, also another strong UK team doing well. The UK mixed teams haven't played in Europe for a while, so it's interesting to see them seemingly doing pretty well here. All right, well, there's a little score update. Stay tuned for the rest of the games coming soon.
Bichon picks up, and they've got a short field. They've got another goal. It's tied up at 12. I cannot believe what I'm seeing
Can
here.
Lola Dam chase that one down? That is a score for Hartlige Elverkel. Fantastic run by Julia Lutz.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge.
And we believe that requires knocking down the paywall.
We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch, and we want them to go viral.
When you become a member, you enable us to improve our working relationships with tournament organisers, events and federations.
And you'll help us to produce live stories for Ultimate fans, and to generate new fans with our enhanced content.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts, and we want to bring you coverage on a more consistent basis. We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Ciao ragazzi, support the community.
Let's subscribe Ulti TV. There's lots of the videos, posting, everything. Check it out. They are the best one. Woo!
If you want to grow Ultimate Sports, become a member of Ulti TV.
Regardez Ulti TV. Deviens un membre d'Ulti TV et fais grandir ta communauté.
Top Ulti TV تلمه eroginkime Ultimate Vendromene. Si quieres ayudar a Ulti TV, puedes ser miembro de Ulti TV.
Everyone, follow Ulti.tv on Instagram, on YouTube. They've got everything.
Best content.
Like their pictures if you love frisbee. Just do it.
We're counting on you.
Bli medlem på Ulti TV.
Became member
of Ulti TV.
Mamma mia.
Contribue au développement d'Ultimate avec Ulti TV.
Like and subscribe, Ulti TV, the best in the world.
We want to grow Ultimate.
we want to grow Ultimate. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We have our signature style 2-camera setup,
with thousands of hours of experience,
and our crew is globally dispersed to facilitate coverage everywhere around the world. We can also scale back our broadcast with just one elevated camera, or scale up with 2 fields, 2 cameras, and 2 commentators on each.
We work with local teams and we all have the same mission, to grow the sport and bring it to new people by providing live coverage and news stories.
Become a member today on our Patreon page.
And fund our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories, ideas and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
So loads of tournaments happening, which you can attend either as a player or a spectator. You can find them on Ultical.
Ulti.tv